James was the coolest kid at school. Everyone wanted to be his friend, not because of who he was, but because of his father. His father, Harold, worked for the government and was known for taking on the most dangerous missions imaginable. James admired him more than anyone. But there was one thing James didn't know. His so-called friends only liked him because of his father. One day, Harold received the most dangerous mission of his entire career. His target, a ruthless killer named Pablo. Harold and his team spent weeks tracking Pablo's criminal organization. They eventually came up with a risky plan. Someone would act as bait. If Pablo's men took the bait, the team could secretly track them back to Pablo's hideout. Harold volunteered without hesitation. Dressed in expensive clothes, he walked alone through a quiet alleyway, hoping someone would notice him. Minutes later, a man suddenly grabbed him from behind and locked him in a chokehold. "Don't move," the stranger whispered. Exactly as planned, the man dragged Harold through a maze of abandoned buildings until they finally reached Pablo's hideout. Harold looked around in shock. The place was filled with expensive jewelry, stacks of cash, luxury watches, and countless stolen valuables. But something else caught his attention. Bodies. The bodies of people Pablo had murdered. Then, a man slowly stepped out of the shadows. Pablo. He smiled as he looked Harold up and down. "Nice clothes," Pablo said with a grin. "It's a shame they'll belong to me in a few minutes." He slowly pulled a knife from his pocket. Just as Pablo stepped forward, the front door exploded open. "Government agents, don't move." Harold's team stormed into the hideout. Pablo's smile instantly disappeared. "Run!" he shouted. "Hold them off!" His gang members rushed toward the agents, while Pablo turned and sprinted deeper into the building. Harold was quickly freed. "After him!" Harold shouted. He and his partner, Johann, immediately chased Pablo through the building. Johann suddenly pulled a throwing knife from his belt. "I've got him!" He threw it with all his strength. The knife barely missed Pablo, embedding itself in a nearby wall. Pablo didn't even look back. He just kept running. Moments later, several gang members blocked the hallway. "Damn it!" Harold yelled. "He's getting away!" Johann stepped forward and smiled. "Don't worry, I'll handle them." As Harold and the rest of the team fought Pablo's men, Pablo disappeared without a trace. By the time the battle was over, dozens of criminals had been arrested, but Pablo had escaped. Back at headquarters, the mood was tense. Harold slammed his fist onto the table. "We had him! And we let him escape." The room fell silent. Then Johann smiled. "Not exactly." Harold looked at him. "What do you mean?" Johann reached into his pocket and pulled out a small remote. "The knife I threw wasn't meant to hit him. It had a tracker hidden inside." Harold's eyes widened. "You planned that?" Johann nodded. "If Pablo picked up the knife, we'd be able to track him wherever he went." The team immediately turned on the tracking device. A blinking red dot appeared on the screen. "There he is!" Harold leaned closer. "A restaurant?" Everyone exchanged confused looks. "So that's where he's hiding!" Without wasting another second, the team geared up and headed toward the location. As they entered the restaurant, everything seemed perfectly normal. Families were eating, waiters were serving food. Nothing looked suspicious. Harold approached one of the employees. "We're looking for a man named Pablo." The employee smiled politely. "I'm sorry, sir. I've never heard that name before." One by one, every employee gave the exact same answer. "No, we don't know him." Harold frowned. Something didn't feel right. Meanwhile, one of the waiters quietly walked into the kitchen. Pablo was waiting. "They're here," the waiter whispered. "They're looking for you." Pablo smiled. "I expected them." He looked toward a large metal door. "Lead them into the kitchen. I've prepared a little surprise." A few moments later, another employee suddenly shouted from across the restaurant. "He's in the kitchen!" Harold and his team immediately rushed toward the back of the building. Johann reached the kitchen first. The moment he stepped inside, click. What was? The floor beneath him collapsed. Johann crashed into a hidden cage below. Steel bars slammed shut around him. "It's a trap!" Harold shouted. The rest of the team stopped just in time. Laughter echoed through the room. Pablo slowly stepped out from the shadows. "I own this restaurant," he said with a grin. "Did you really think you could hunt me down in my own building?" At that moment, every waiter, every chef, and every employee pulled out weapons. They weren't restaurant staff. They were all members of Pablo's gang. Within seconds, Harold and his team were completely surrounded. The fight had begun. The restaurant erupted into chaos. Harold and his team fought desperately against Pablo's gang. Punches were thrown. Knives clashed. Tables and chairs shattered across the room. In the middle of the confusion, Harold spotted Pablo trying to escape through the back door. "You're not getting away this time." Harold broke free from the fight and chased after him. Pablo heard the footsteps behind him and quickly turned around. Without hesitation, he threw a powerful punch straight at Harold's face. Harold staggered backward, but quickly regained his balance. Both men reached for their knives at the same time. Pablo lunged first. Harold reacted instantly, kicking Pablo's knife out of his hand. The blade slid across the floor. Before Pablo could recover, Harold tackled him to the ground. In one swift motion, Harold grabbed the fallen knife and pressed it against Pablo's throat. "It ends here," Harold said. Pablo remained completely calm. "You really think you've won?" Harold tightened his grip. "I'm giving you one chance. Tell me who you're working with." Pablo only smiled. Before Harold could say another word, he heard desperate screams behind him. "Harold, help us!" He turned around. His entire team was losing the fight. Some were trapped beneath fallen furniture. Others were surrounded by Pablo's men. Johann was still locked inside the hidden cage. Harold looked back at Pablo. One stab, and the city's most dangerous killer would finally be dead. But if he stayed, his team might not survive. Pablo laughed. "So, what's it going to be? Kill me or save your friends?" Harold closed his eyes for a moment. Then, he slowly lowered the knife. "I'm choosing my team." Pablo stood up and brushed the dust off his clothes. A wise decision. The two men walked away from each other without another word. Harold rushed back into the fight and managed to rescue his teammates. Together, they escaped the restaurant alive. Back at headquarters, no one celebrated. The government wasn't impressed that Harold had saved his team. They only cared about one thing. The mission had failed. "You let Pablo escape," one official said coldly. "You disobeyed direct orders. Rule number 1. The mission comes before everything else." Harold stood there in silence. Effective immediately. You and your entire team are dismissed. Harold couldn't believe what he was hearing. His teammates were furious. Some blamed the government. Others blamed Harold. From that moment on, everything in Harold's life began to fall apart. News of the failed mission spread across the country. Within hours, every television station reported the same story. The government has officially dismissed Agent Harold after he failed to eliminate the notorious criminal Pablo. The operation ended in failure, allowing the killer to escape. The media only told one side of the story. No one mentioned that Harold had chosen to save his teammates instead. Overnight, the man who had once been called a hero became the nation's biggest disappointment. Whenever Harold stepped outside, people recognized him immediately. "There's the guy who let Pablo escape. He should have finished the mission. People died because of him." Day after day, the insults never stopped. The pressure became unbearable. Harold isolated himself from everyone. The man who had once risked his life to protect others slowly lost the will to keep fighting, until one day he was gone. James couldn't believe it. His father, his hero, was dead. His entire world fell apart. But things only got worse. The next time James walked into school, something felt different. The friends who had always stood beside him were waiting, not to comfort him, but to laugh at him. "Look who's here, the son of the failed agent." James stared at them in confusion. "I thought you guys were my friends." One of them laughed. "We were only your friends because your dad was famous. Now he's gone. So why would we care about you?" Those words shattered James. From that day forward, the bullying never stopped. Every single day, someone reminded him of his father's failure. At first, James missed his father more than anything. But as the years passed, his grief slowly turned into anger. He blamed Harold for every decision he had made, for choosing his teammates over the mission, for losing everything, for leaving him behind. And without realizing it, hatred began to grow inside James. But for the rest of his life, he had to deal with his father's mistakes.